You have arrived at your destination.
Hey, Big Willie Style. Would you like to try this intro a second time, Big Willie Style?
Listeners, we just did about probably a solid minute of an intro and realized Joe's mic wasn't working. So here we are again.
It is more than a minute.
Okay. Well, here we are again, but the first time for you, listeners. So.
Yeah. And just a little recap of our last intro.
Yeah.
I called Will Big Willie Style.
You did?
And he called me Wild Wild West Boy.
Right.
I called myself Wild Wild West Boy.
You did. And also, we talked about how we haven't done a podcast in a while. So anyway, we were talking a little bit about how Joe's been writing music for Bagged and Board this season finale. That's coming up on June 10th at the Clifton Center here in Louisville at 8 p.m. Suggested donation of $5. You should come out.
You don't have to donate anything. Just
you
come.
don't have to. Yeah,
just come and watch it.
Come and just drop some raw fish into the donation bucket.
Yeah, just some tuna. Some tuna.
So our guest today, you will know him from Bagged and Board, where he plays a character of his own name.
Bryan Kennison.
You see him everywhere you look.
Everywhere I look.
You see him everywhere you look. And also, he has a podcast called Powerbomb the Podcast.
He's a big wrestling fan.
Yeah, he likes wrestling.
Will and I went and saw WWE Live a few months back. And we really enjoyed ourselves.
Super fun.
But Bryan Kennison, he lives it, he eats it, he breathes it.
He knows what's up.
He swims in it.
He does.
He bikes across America on it.
It's kind of one of those things where, it's like, Joe, you and I are like moms in the Midwest who are like, yeah, I like those Iron Guy movies with Robert Downey in them.
Yeah.
And then, in real life, us are like, well, here's what's rumored to be happening in the upcoming movies and stuff. It's like that. That's the relationship.
And let's talk about the true character character of Captain Steve Rogers and Tony Stark in this new movie. And let's talk about how these directors, their character rings so true throughout, from the beginning to the middle to the very end.
And Bryan Kennison can do that about wrestling. And so we talked to him about wrestling. We talked about wrestling. We talked about superhero stuff. He knows about that too. We talked about his podcast. It was a good one.
Bryan Kennison and where he might end up in season 2 of Bagged and Board.
Bryan Kennison, the character, that is. Yeah. So we talk about a lot of stuff.
This one was a really fun one. I hope you stick around for this one.
It's fun. It's long. You'll enjoy it. You got a long commute to work, and you're going to make it several times this week. Just listen to it.
Why are you working an hour and a half from your house?
Work near home. That grocery store is hiring down there. Just go there.
Just go to the grocery store.
Just go there. All right. Here's Bryan Kennison. Before he plugs his stuff at the end, but we'll plug his stuff here. So the Bagged and Board premiere, and then also Powerbomb the Podcast, which is part of the DNN.
Powerbomb the Podcast.
So go listen to that and enjoy the interview or the conversation. Enjoy the conversation with Bryan Kennison.
Will and Bryan have a nice conversation, and I interview them.
You are now a loyal follower of the Villain District Podcast.
Reverby. Do I sound reverby to you guys?
No.
I don't know how your studio works. No, it's fine.
I don't know. Hold on.
You guys sound great.
You got some latency going on? Is
There
it
we
like
go.
a little...
No, I feel like I sound like Apocalypse.
Okay.
You look a little like Apocalypse.
I get that. I get a lot.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
There's an Oscar Isaac chisel to my face.
Right. Yeah. I didn't want to say anything, but...
No, that would have been a compliment.
I'm glad that you're...
Dude. Oscar got it going on.
Is he Latino? Did I get that wrong? He is Latino.
No, I don't think so, actually.
I'm not sure.
Are you sure?
I don't, maybe.
I think he's a little Latino.
A little bit.
If not, then maybe it's the California sun. Just hand him.
Man, I don't want to say because I don't want to. I don't want to come off one way or the other.
He's a regular listener, so he would be very upset if we got that wrong.
I did see X-Men Apocalypse, so I don't know if you.
Oh, did you?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it leaked online because of overseas and stuff.
Okay.
But I watched it legally in an illegal way. But it was actually really good.
I don't know what that means.
It was?
Yeah, it was really good until the very... Okay, now it's a 2-hour and 6-minute movie.
Right.
It's really good and up until an hour and 56, when everything is still very intense, very much happening.
Right.
You're like, they're going to have to wrap this up soon.
Yeah, so it kind of suffers from the third act a little bit.
Not even the third act, like the last 1/3 of the third act, just because it ends so quick.
Okay.
Right.
It's like they realized, oh shit, we got to be done in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll get rid of this part of the script.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just like,
Gotcha.
It just ends so fast.
Yeah. I've heard mixed reviews.
Yeah,
thus
I have
far
too.
of that one.
Okay, now arguably it has its ups and downs. like with it ending very, very quickly, and without giving too many spoilers, like there's none of the Horsemen serve any. There's no repercussions for them.
Right.
Like no one. Like there's not even a wag of the finger. It's just kind of like, what are you gonna do? You're a mutant. What are you gonna do? And that was my only real problem with it. Was like there was no one. There was no. What's the word I'm looking for? No closure on it. Like there was no. It was just like, it's over. It's done. There's no consequence. It was just like, meh.
Right.
Huh.
It was entertaining, visually, really cool.
I mean, I think for an X-Men movie, though, it's kind of like you just want to see a bunch of like X-Men doing their thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that, or am I wrong?
No, I mean,
my dream is an X-Men. Have you read Age of Apocalypse, that X-Men series?
I have not read that actually. I'm not well versed in the Men of X actually. So
if
it.
If you like post-apocalyptic stuff. Age of Apocalypse. It's where Apocalypse has taken over the world. He's given bits and pieces to different mutants that have helped him. Yeah. Cyclops is evil. All this shit. Yeah. It's really, really well done, wonderful. And I want a movie of that, but it's just 2 hours of a battle.
Yeah.
Okay. The only conversations when they go back in the trenches are like, well, shit, that didn't work. What do we do now? Like that's the only dialogue.
So like the second, like a 3-part movie, quote unquote, and the second part is just 2 hours of battle.
Yeah. No, like it's just 30 minutes of battle. Go back in the trenches. Okay, guys, we need a new plan. Go back into battle for another 30 minutes. Yeah. Come back in the trenches. That didn't work either.
Little breathers.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's so little talking that the talking that is there you can make very, very good.
I see.
Right.
I see.
But really, like you said, you just want to see lasers and people getting stabbed with claws and people morphing. That's all you want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
See, when I was a kid, X-Men was kind of my thing, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I was a kid, I didn't like read the comic books. I just I loved the pictures. I loved the covers.
Yep.
I could tell you the covers of so many of those like late 90s X-Men, but I didn't start reading comics until like a little later, you know?
Yeah. Well,
so,
did you watch the animated series?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that stayed pretty damn close to what they were doing in the comics anyway. So, even if you weren't reading them...
So, I'm probably familiar with a lot of what went down.
Yeah, like the Phoenix Saga.
Right.
Pretty comparable to what you were given anyway.
Sure.
Like, they stayed more true to it than any movie has done up to this point. So, I mean, you still got the gist of it. It's just like you got to see a lot of Rob Liefeld wet dreams.
Yeah, a lot of deformed kind of chests and
bodies that can't possibly exist.
No feet,
no feet,
not a foot in there.
Chests bigger than they possibly should be.
Pull me back a little bit.
Yeah.
So is X-Men is that your thing?
No,
or you just saw it recently?
No, I just watched it.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I had to get it out of my system.
Gotcha. No, fair enough.
Yeah, I still wish the Magneto Mystique sex scene would have went somewhere after 3 movies, but like they just had sex for no reason,
right?
And now it's over.
Yeah.
Other than she can look at him and be like, Eric, you were inside me once. Listen to me. I'm your voice of reason because we had a thing.
Do you feel like they're gonna come up with new ways to make Jennifer Lawrence the star?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because this is her 3rd movie,
Uh-huh.
and people sign on for trilogies.
Okay.
I guarantee you
Think she's
she is
done?
out.
Think so?
There's no way. She's not. She doesn't need any more money.
Yeah.
She doesn't like doing X-Men movies.
Right.
She hasn't said that, but she doesn't. Right?
No, she said she loved doing them.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, like she said she loved doing them, and that her, McAvoy, and Fassbender all sat together and go, "Are you coming back?
Misread.
Well, if you come back, I'll come back."
Right.
Like they all three, like
okay,
we're getting all 3, or we're getting nothing.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like she's the breakout, but she's playing a character that's relatively, not one of the A team of the.
Not someone who's going to work on the battlefield.
Right.
Like he's kind of useless almost in a real big battle.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to turn into somebody else. Fantastic.
Right.
That's going to help out for all of 30 seconds.
Maybe they'll just have her turn into Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
That would be
do
fantastic.
That.
Yeah. She's done that once.
Oh,
remember Rebecca Romaine in the first one.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But that doesn't even count anymore, right?
I don't know.
Days of Future Past destroyed that future.
They did a weird new Star Trek reboot style.
Now, if you think that those are still the same people, just in different timelines, though, you got to imagine Jennifer Lawrence grows up to be Rebecca Romaine Stamos,
right? And I have to say,
Rebecca Romaine.
I have to say, downgrade. You
think so?
Maybe don't grow up.
Rebecca Romaine is.
Maybe don't grow up for me.
Don't insult Rebecca Romaine.
Oh, I'm not insulting. I'm not insulting.
I'll go ahead. It's like 2 different totally different like flavors of ice cream.
Okay.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? They're both ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're both blue, so I don't know what that is, but
Right.
One's like, Jennifer Lawrence like down home. You meet her in like Southern Kentucky wearing a sundress. Recco Romaine is like Denise Richards coming out of the pool in Wild Things. Like those are the two spectrums.
Bryan Kennison, let me tell you something about Southern Kentucky. I have not once seen Jennifer Lawrence walking around Southern Kentucky. Not
That's where
one
she
time.
Came from, isn't it?
I don't know.
She
Maybe
came from here.
I know
She's
she
from
was.
Louisville?
She's
Yeah.
like around. Yeah, like she's.
Yeah, her
big
family
here,
lives
but,
here.
yeah.
I thought she came from like some weird town down south where everyone goes to church and knows each other.
Nope.
No, I was way
I
off.
wish she came from that town. We came from that town.
We
That
did.
town
But
doesn't
her,
exist?
her face is on a building downtown, right? So I figured
it?
like you had to. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
She's
on
got a new,
if you're
like-
on 64 headed east from the west side,
Yeah.
you'll see your face.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Down
it
there,
is.
kind of
Yep.
by
Oh, like-
Muhammad Ali
Yeah.
Center.
It's like where maybe it's. Is Diane Sawyer still up?
Yeah,
'Cause,
like where it says
It's
Diane's
around- yeah,
Louisville.
it says Jennifer's. Yeah.
Oh, I just said J-Law's
They got one of
Louisville.
that. J-Law's Louisville.
They just lean into it so much, like fuck it, J-Law.
Yep.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So X-Men's not your primary thing. You saw it, you liked it, you say go see it.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
more. Go see it. It's worth seeing.
Yeah.
Go see it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Go see it on matinee.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's really good up until you realize, like, oh shit, it's all gonna end really fast. And that was the thing is, I looked at the time too early, and I realized,
Yeah.
shit, they got 15 minutes. That includes credits.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
right.
that's the thing, though. Like, you need that moment of what's it called? The denouement.
I that's something. I don't know what it
That's
means.
It's essentially the moment of relief you get once the climax of the third act has happened.
Oh, okay.
You have
Yeah,
to have
right.
you have to have the
has to
downslope
settle.
of
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have to settle before credits. You can't just we're done. You can't do that.
That's kind of what they did, though. Like,
Yeah.
spoiler alert: Apocalypse gets defeated.
Oh,
well, that's
my God.
that's
I'm
probably
not-
ideal,
I'm not
right?
seeing it now.
Yeah, the X-Men beat the bad guy. I don't
I'm
know
not
if anyone
seeing it
saw
now.
that coming.
I really thought they were all going to die.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna be
I think
honest.
there's a death. I'll give them that. They won at Marvel.
Okay.
They did a
Okay.
death and stuck to it.
All right.
They quicksilvered someone.
Nice.
No, but the whole movie's good. But as soon as like he's dead, and then 2 minutes later you got credits.
Yeah.
Like the after, like I said, there's no consequences for anything
So
that happened.
I'm gonna have to go see. You've made this movie more enticing to me,
Yeah.
than the trailers have at all.
I was going to say,
Like,
yeah, I
nice
probably,
work.
yeah,
I do what I can.
I will see it. I probably would have ignored it. I would have watched it at some point,
yeah,
but I probably would have ignored it.
Yeah, well,
Like-
I got a text from a buddy today saying, "Have you seen it yet?" No, let's go watch it. So I was gonna watch it.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
I don't know if I was gonna like. I would have watched it.
well, I get a kickback from Fox, so that's good.
Right.
Yeah.
That is
I'm,
good.
I'm making the kickback Fox money. That's pretty big deal.
Yeah. So what's your go-to thing? Like,
Man, I don't have a go-to.
Don't
thing.
have a
There's
go-to
just
thing?
Too many. No, and that's
too much good stuff.
Yeah, that's what I've realized lately is like I'm losing a lot of time
Yeah.
because of my stories. I'm an old man.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
No, I
okay,
understand.
Arrow's on.
Yeah.
Flash is on.
Gotta keep
Agents
up with
of
your
S.H.I.E.L.D.
stories.
is on.
Yeah.
And a lot
Legends
of-
of Tomorrow.
A lot of those shows are I've been having trouble keeping up with.
Yeah.
I've only seen like 2 episodes of Arrow this season, and 1 of Flash, and 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I feel like once it's all done, I'm going to go through in a weekend and take care of each
I see.
season. You
it's
know what I
probably
mean?
more fun that way. I
Right.
should have done it that way. Now, by the way, I'll fucking King Shark. I can curse on this show, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Fucking King Shark. If you're a DC fan, oh, it's so rewarding to finally get. Yeah. Oh, it's so nice. It's probably a better way to do it, but like I watched it and I was like, well, I gotta know what happens next week, and I got Hulu, so
Yeah,
like,
right.
I have to justify that $7.99 a month.
Yeah, that's where I am too.
right.
But like, here's the problem: I was ready to jump on board the Hulu Arrow train.
Yeah.
but they only give you 5 at a time.
Oh, yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
2. There's like, okay, well, I can skip 2 episodes
Yeah.
and then watch these next 5. I couldn't do it.
Now this
You know?
one, it was very
Yeah.
serialized. You had to go step by step in this
Right.
one. This was a really tedious Arrow season though, so you didn't miss a lot.
Yeah. Well,
I fell off the train halfay through the
Yeah.
Arrow of this season.
I feel
so.
like okay.
Yeah.
I feel like they the writers of Arrow need to realize that Arrow is not this grandiose monster Avengers type story.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
very street level.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
all you just watch season 1 of Daredevil.
Give us some crime bosses,
and then
man.
rewrite write Arrow season 5. You know what I mean?
Man, if you had seen the season, I watched the season finale this morning.
Okay.
If you had seen the season finale before you said that, holy shit, you'd have no idea how on point you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the season finale, it's just something way beyond like.
Wait, it's the opposite of what he said.
No, it's like Green Arrow. This is where you would call in the Justice League. This is where you would call Flash. You would call people who have powers and be like, look, dude, this is beyond me.
Right.
You don't have to do that. Like people. Yeah. That's not what is drawing the crowds in.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not what's good.
Just good story. That's all you need. Good story and good character.
Well, and I think fan service is what really does it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the moment in season 2 or 3 where they had the boxing glove arrow.
Yeah.
Just that moment.
Yeah.
That's
real.
all you need.
Yeah.
Dude, Reddit
just little moments
exploded.
Yeah.
Reddit exploded that night, and they didn't have to have the whole world at stake.
No.
Yeah,
you know, everyone doesn't have to be like,
Totally.
no, you put a boxing glove on the end of an arrow and you shoot it at somebody.
Yeah. Well, remember, unless you've seen the season finale, up to this point, the whole world hasn't been at stake. It's just usually been Star City.
Right.
Oh, okay. So it's just the whole city. Okay.
Yeah.
Until this season. I don't know, I'm going to spoil anything, but man.
Yeah.
Man. But you're right. I think that's why Gotham works.
Yeah, see, I fell off the Gotham train.
I'm a few behind on
see,
Gotham.
My dad, dude, Will, I meant to tell you this. My dad's like, you got to watch season 2 of Gotham. He said it's one of the best superhero shows on right now.
It gets a lot better.
Have you been watching it?
I'm a few behind, but yeah.
How far is a few?
So, I couldn't tell you, to
Have
be
you seen
honest.
Jerome and all that, though?
Yeah.
How goobas he is,
good.
assumed Joker.
Yeah, assumed. Yeah.
But you see him in a tank later.
But
so,
so good.
Back. Yeah.
I had heard he was coming back. Yeah. But yeah, so good. I mean, like a nice mix of Jokers to this point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And have either of you watched Shameless at all?
No.
I've seen a few episodes before, like the American or the
American version. Yeah. So did you ever see the redheaded kid in that? The boy.
Probably.
He becomes gay eventually in the show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's actually in Gotham, the Joker.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Fucking phenomenal.
Super good.
So his
Seriously.
laugh is good.
Yep.
And there's this thing where he's putting a gun to his head and he's like, what is leadership, courage under pressure or whatever? And he's like pulling the trigger at his head.
Right. Oh. Yeah, it's very good. It's very good.
Like, if nothing else, watch Gotham's second season for that kid.
I felt like the problem with Gotham before the second season, in the first season, the problem with Gotham was it couldn't settle on a tone. It was like, oh, we're like Nolan-esque and dark and serious, but we're kind of Batman 66 and we got a monster of the week. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, I don't know what I am.
Then we're kind of Arrowverse-ish.
Yeah, ish, but
Here's my biggest problem with Gotham, and I haven't watched anything further.
Yeah.
But Batman's rogues gallery is any one of those characters is a household name.
Yeah.
So when Selena Kyle comes onto screen, she doesn't have to be lapping up milk. And she doesn't have to be called Cat.
And she doesn't have to call herself Cat for no reason.
She doesn't have to be called.
I agree.
That you don't have to shove it down people's throats because we get it.
Right.
We get it.
This is a lesson that the 90s should have taught you in making superhero properties. Is you don't have to do that. Yeah. I was really hoping, when I heard that Gotham was coming on, I was really hoping for a Gotham Central type show. Have you ever read that?
No.
It's really good. It's like my favorite comic of all time. Yeah.
Oh, is it the one where like it's through the eyes of the citizens?
Yes. Or the cops. It follows the Gotham Central PD.
Now there are moments in that comic where Batman makes an appearance.
Yeah,
but it's he's like kind of just barely in the frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he's like this really kind of huge. Yeah, when he's there, you know it, and it's
right.
It's a big,
and they
nice
don't
feeling.
have that much. They don't have that much contact with him, and they don't particularly like him because he kind of undermines their authority and stuff like that. It's a really good thing, but everybody's fully developed. But they're just. It's not about Batman or Joker or anybody like that. It's about
it's like The Wire with
essentially
with that rogues gallery.
Yeah, I love the whole idea of like comic books are so big in themselves that like they've had to step back and make regular people within a comic book world, and that's its own series. Like that's entertaining on its own. It's like, how do you live day to day when this is going on?
When this is happening,
totally.
Yeah, like they step away from what's Batman doing? Fuck, I don't want to know what's the dude behind Batman doing.
Exactly. How do you live in a city where Batman's happening?
Exactly. I love that. That's a thing. That like that's almost like you're out of ideas.
Yeah.
So you just go with something that doesn't even seem like an idea.
But it's good because like there's a little bit of that fantastical element, but they can't rely on it. Do you know what I mean? They have to tell a good story about these people, just these humans, and that's
Well, I think that's also why Gotham works.
Okay,
see, it all
comes back. It all comes back.
Yeah, but I think you're right. First season, they didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what they were doing. Yeah.
Now, there were a few. Like there was one episode, the episode where Gordon, I think Victor Zsasz is introduced.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
That episode was like, I'm like, this is firing on all cylinders.
Point.
Whoever wrote this one, like, give him another check
point.
and let him come back into the room.
Seriously,
Zaz is good on there. I like their interpretation of Penguin.
Yep.
I love that guy's Penguin.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's just interesting.
He's very
and
good.
fun. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's different than anything they've done before. He's not the chubby businessman. He's this he's this hot topic looking guy with the limp.
Yeah. Right.
But it works. You're like, I like it. He's mildly intimidating.
He'll probably be fat sometime. But let him be young for once.
He'd have to go like full on like character, or was it a method actor?
Yeah.
He'd have to eat a shit ton.
Yep.
You'd have to go straight Christian Bale or
Benicio del Toro for Fear and Loathing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good call. Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
So other than watching superhero properties like we do, what do you do with your time, Bryan Kennison?
Wrestling, man. Wrestling's a big part of it.
Okay, yeah. I thought wrestling might come up. I listened to. I actually didn't finish it. I'll be honest. I didn't finish it, but I listened to you on Eric's.
Powerbomb?
On Eric's. No.
Necessary Neurosis. You son of a bitch. You got me excited. I thought you listened to Powerbomb.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so sorry. But but you were talking about wrestling on there with him.
On Necessary Neurosis.
Necessary Neurosis, which is great. Everybody should listen.
Love that show.
But yeah, so tell us about your interest in wrestling. How does that come about, and what form does it take nowadays?
God, man, it's taken me over now that I'm doing the show. I like it anyway. Here's the thing. My love of wrestling stems from my love of storytelling. I appreciate any abstract, weird way of getting from A to Z. I think that's why I love stand-up so much, when it's really well crafted. So once you put the segues in and there's a way to get you on a ride from motion from A to Z. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, in wrestling, you get that in matches, in good matches. Mm-hmm. And you get that from people, and they sell it in a different way, and they show it in a different way.
Yeah.
But you see revenge, you see anger, you see bitter, you see desperation. Yeah. You just see it in a different way in a match form.
Yeah.
And now I also I don't watch your footballs, your basketballs, or your soccer, but I do appreciate the athleticism that goes into wrestling.
Right.
So between storyline and seeing how they sell and tell a story with saying nothing,
right,
but being in the ring, like it's that kind of thing that sells me on it.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, I got into wrestling when I was a kid because DX told everyone to suck it.
Okay.
Because Stone Cold was chugging beers and giving everyone the finger.
Okay.
I won't romanticize.
Sure. Right.
How I got it. Well, it all started from a WrestleMania. That was the first thing I ever watched. Like, WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
First WrestleMania I ever watched was Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold. Which two of the greatest of all time.
Okay.
Sure.
So you watch that main event, you can't not be sucked in a little bit, and then after that it just grew and grew and grew.
It's like watching the Super Bowl or something. It's got,
exactly,
you're gonna be into it.
Exactly,
like, it's fun.
Mike Tyson was there.
It
was a big intro, and then after that,
if Tyson's there, then
right,
he's the baddest man alive.
There you go,
the baddest man alive.
And I was so fucking into it then, and then it just grew. And again, like at the time, there was half naked women, and I was like, 10 years old,
right?
So it started.
They know their audience.
Yeah, it started in a very unpure place.
Sure.
But it grew.
But it's become this like holy thing for you.
Yeah, no, the more I grew as a human being and appreciated any sort of art or storytelling or any writing, like I saw more of me appreciating what they did in WWE to build a character, take someone who is nothing and then build them into, the top star in the company or vice versa. Like, it's that kind of stuff that's sucking me in. It's not just shirtless dudes punching each other.
No, yeah, of course. Yeah. I feel like I was into wrestling, not super into it, but a little bit. My main interest with wrestling was when I was really young. Sounds like it was before you got into it. It was when like Hulk Hogan was wearing like yellow tights and like Sting had like a blue face and spiky blonde hair.
The surfer stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I was into it then, and I didn't know what was going on, but I remember having like a VHS tape of like the best matches ever, and it had the one where like Hulk Hogan was like body slammed Andre the Giant, and I watched that VHS a bunch and stuff like that. Yeah, and then actually recently, we went to see. I went to see the first professional wrestling I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Live.
It was at a Yum Center.
at the Yum Center fairly recently.
You went to the WWE Live?
Yeah. A friend of ours is super into it.
Yeah.
And he's like, if I get us tickets, will you go? And we were like,
let's go.
Yeah.
Was it
Yes, we
Brandon?
No, it actually wasn't Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was actually a buddy of ours from Danville.
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 Yep.
But
So what'd you guys think?
I was gonna say, like, I missed the wrestling train altogether. Like as a kid, like I kind of feel like I've missed out on something a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
And that was the first. I've been to like small town, like county fair wrestling matches and stuff, like in high school.
Yeah.
And I always thought
stuff.
that was super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To figure out who you're rooting for, get in a crowd where you're rooting for the bad guy, and like people like really,
And everybody
really,
hates that
you
you're
know,
doing
it's
that.
just
Yeah,
it's
right.
interesting. But watching WWE live, I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Something just clicked. Like
Yeah.
when a character walks out and the whole stadium just erupts.
Who are who are the ones?
Here's something. This was really interesting. This really gets into the skill of each one of these characters. So Sheamus comes out, right?
yeah. Right.
And he was one of the more popular, I guess, bigger
I had
wrestlers.
heard of him, so I knew he was. Yeah.
So the whole crowd was like,
yeah.
and he was like punching his fists in the air. But it was really quick that I learned that he was actually supposed to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he immediately started insulting the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Picking out people and saying how toothless. They're cheering for him.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he's saying you're toothless, you're dumb, whatever, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And then the crowd just kind of like turns on him a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this other guy comes out that I don't know if anyone knew who he was, but he was like, yeah, I love Kentucky, whatever. And the crowd was like, yeah, we like you now.
Yeah.
It's like they know they're trained to manipulate an audience in
Yeah,
order
it's
to
pandering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, we're in this weird thing with wrestling where people like the athleticism and the talent of wrestling more. Like, wrestling fans are evolving and getting out of the beer swilling and half-naked ladies sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now guys that come out that would have got cheered, like in your Hulk Hogan eras, they're big, fucking buff guys, your Sheamuses.
Yeah.
They get booed a lot more for these smaller, slender, technically efficient guys.
That's interesting.
What was the guy, the big guy at the very end?
The main guy, Dean something?
Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude,
Yeah.
like he's not a huge dude, but
Yeah.
like,
He
he
was
was,
like crazy.
he was just wearing a black wife beater and some stretchy
Some jeans.
jeans.
Yeah, some jeans.
Dude was so cool.
It was, right.
Yeah.
So cool.
It was him and, who was the bad guy? Chubby dude.
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
Oh,
Yep.
Kevin Owens is so fucking good.
And so our buddy who loves wrestling was telling us, he was like, yeah, Kevin Owens is one of those characters who, like, he's a bad guy, but people love him so much that it's hard to keep him a bad guy.
And that's why,
was what he
that's
was
why
saying.
wrestling's hard right now.
Yeah.
That's why you have people like Sheamus going up, like, they get cheered and then they have to insult people's teeth and shit because they're heels. They're supposed to be bad.
Sure, right.
But they're like, Kevin Owens is here. This is awesome. I
This
love
is
Kevin
great.
Owens. It's
Sure,
going to be a
right.
good match, and I
Right.
know that.
Yeah.
So people cheer.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck, I have to insult these people.
Yeah.
And they like get
Yeah.
him. And so that's the sign of like a good bad guy in wrestling is he gets cheered, but then he makes you turn against him.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's just this weird
Like
phase
he
where-
doesn't just like enjoy it. Yeah. He just
And it's weird because also they want them to cheer for him because the more shirts they sell, the more money they make.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So people like Kevin Owens walk this fine line
Right.
of I have to make them hate me, but I have to make them buy my
Right.
shirt at the same
Well,
time.
and at the same time, it's like I'm sure there are kids there who think everything that's happening is totally
real.
legit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm sure. I mean, the majority of the audience understands exactly what's going on.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They hate
absolutely.
Kevin Owens, but at the same time, they're like, "Well, I'm gonna get a T-shirt." Of course.
Yeah. Well, they're also like they're pulling in. Kevin Owens has been wrestling for 15 years.
Okay.
So any hardcore wrestling fan is already a fan of his. So when they're and WWE recently has brought in a ton of these independent scene guys.
Okay.
So they're bringing in a new demographic of fan. So that fan is now in the audience, and they see your Kevin Owens. Or I don't know if he was there when you guys were there, like your Adrian Neville or your Sami Zayns or your Daniel Bryans, if you guys know them.
Okay. No, I'm not sure.
No, I don't think they were there.
I don't think they were.
Well, they're all indie guys. They were all indie guys, so all these independent fans are going nuts for them now, even if they're bad guys.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
going
yeah.
nuts for them because they're there on the big stage.
Yeah.
So WWE's like, we don't know what to do anymore.
Right.
We don't know how to control this shit.
Yeah,
Dude.
Yeah. Well, to what extent though is it like conversational between the audience and the like? Is it the kind of thing where a wrestler can come out, before they had their shtick or before they had their character and just do some matches and then see what the crowd does and then decide whether they're a sort of antagonist or protagonist, or do they have to come out of the gate ready to go?
Usually WWE, they write it out ahead of time, and it doesn't always work.
Right.
But they'll do ahead of time, like, you're going to be a heel, you're going to be a face, and then you wrestle accordingly. If you're a heel, you're supposed to, and that's where, like, if you're a bad guy, you're supposed to cheat, low blows, poke the eyes, that kind of stuff to win. But now there's just so many really talented wrestlers coming in that they don't do that anymore, so it's hard to, a bad guy's not doing bad guy moves. He's just saying bad guy stuff.
Right.
Interesting.
Well, also, like, watch a show like Breaking Bad, like, we're in the age of the anti-hero.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Like, the bad guys aren't necessarily bad. They're just more ambiguously...
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that's what's reflective of our dog-eat-dog, like, survival of the fittest sort of thing we're in right now. I think that's why Trump has any sort of momentum going.
Right.
Sure. Because we're all in this, like, we have to look out for our own. Part of it, I think, is Walking Dead, and Rick Grimes is ruining people's minds.
Sure, right.
As good as that show is.
Carl!
Yeah. Carl! Shane! Like, I think that's the whole thing, is, like, people are in their minds, like, I have to look out for myself.
Right.
And
that's true.
That's
and I mean, that's super funny because I don't want to leave wrestling behind, but like we
haven't talked about Lucha yet.
Exactly, we got to get there. But like we're in the most. I feel like we're in the least I have to take care of myself time ever. Like,
you think so?
I mean, I sat around and read today and then watched a little Netflix. You know what I mean?
You totally took care of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But
Who
it's not
else
like
did you take care of
I
in
didn't
that?
fend off all my scary neighbors who have it in for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we hang out,
But what did you give to society doing that?
Right. Oh, nothing. Right, of course.
That you gave to you.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
By the way, I gave to me. I'm not
just
doubting
no,
you
of
at
course.
all.
Yeah. Oh, so it's just a general sort of like individualism.
Exactly.
And
That's a
things
better
like
way to
that.
put it. It's
Right,
like an age of
okay.
individualism where everyone's
Right.
kind of out for themselves.
Each man for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, time back to wrestling.
Yes.
Whenever we see a bad guy come out and go, I'm doing this for me, I need this because I want to be champion, people relate to that because they understand, like,
They're like,
I would want to do that too.
They're like, that's what I would do.
No one else. You're not worried about that guy. I get it, And so it's a really
that's
weird
really
mindfuck.
interesting. That's super interesting.
That's very interesting. Yeah. So that's why Superman. That's why it's shocking that Captain America is cool in those movies.
Yeah,
you know what I
he's a
mean?
Nazi.
What's that?
It's because he's
Did
a
you
Nazi.
hear?
He's a not what? Oh, I did hear. Yeah, I didn't read it yet, but I heard about that.
I guarantee you, there's going to be some
come
sort
on.
of
Yeah.
spin on it.
Yeah, of course.
I was thinking, like, have you guys both seen Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say
Spoilers for Civil War.
ahead of
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But just the beginning, where they had like those trigger words for Bucky.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking it's going to be. Like Captain America got those trigger words 50 years ago.
Okay.
Right.
And they just said them now in the comics, and that's why he's just now becoming a Hydra agent.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my fucking theory. Or my only hope.
he's been doing the Lord's work until this point because he didn't know he was a bad guy.
Yeah. If he's a double agent, he's the worst double agent of all time.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Steve, what the fuck are you doing? You keep destroying our stuff. Man, they're never going to believe.
They're never gonna. Yeah.
I'm an Avenger. Just kill Iron Man. You could do that. You could have done that so many times.
Yeah.
But
That is interesting. That the individualism and the anti-hero sort of going together. I think you're onto something. I think that's good.
But that's probably another reason why Iron Man, the whole kickstart of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Iron Man is kind of a he's that anti-hero kind of guy.
A little bit, yeah. He's at least an individualist,
Right.
capitalist. He loves,
Yeah, well, he's like
doing his own thing,
looking out for himself.
Yeah,
he's like an
sure.
alcoholic. Like
yeah.
is he still an alcoholic in the movies?
maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think so anymore.
I think last time we saw him drink was champagne with pepper pots.
Champagne.
Okay, yeah.
Champagne.
He was, Was 3? Was he drinking in 3? I don't know.
Probably.
It doesn't matter.
He wasn't too because he got crazy drunk and almost destroyed his own house.
I remember that. Rhodey had to fight him.
Like, how does it get to that point? Like that. Like that movie had some problems. I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's been a total miss from Marvel thus far, which is pretty impressive.
I'm the only fan of Mickey Rourke I think that I've met so far. Like,
Wait, you mean Mickey Rourke or Mickey Rourke and Iron Man 2?
in Iron Man
Okay.
2. Now he's got other fans.
Yeah, right.
Now, I liked him as Whiplash.
All right.
Like they could have
Yeah.
done more. Give him the mask at least. But like I liked him as Whiplash.
Do you think that was because they were still transitioning out of that, like...
Totally.
We have to put X-Men in all black, and
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
totally.
We can't make it too much like the comic books.
It was
like
their
that kind of
first
thing.
sequel.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
You know, Marvel.
It was
hadn't
the
done
second
number 2
Marvel
yet.
movie, wasn't it? Or was it not?
It wasn't the same. No,
Had Thor come out or something?
technically, technically Hulk was the second one because Tony Stark showed up in.
That's right.
But they kind of like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Which I liked that movie.
Hulk?
The Edward Norton
Ed
Hulk.
Norton.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
It's just you and me, apparently.
I'm on. Yeah, I'm on.
Okay,
I'm on.
just us in this
Yeah,
room.
I like that.
Yeah, that was
we
good.
have
That was a
the
good
full
movie.
support system for that.
That was a good movie.
I mean, I don't know what the deal was with Mr. Blue and Mr. Red, was it?
Oh, Mr. Green and Mr. Blue.
Mr. Green and Mr. Blue.
He was emailing him because that guy was like a gamma radiation
But who was
scientist.
Mr. Blue supposed to? Because that story never.
Was it the leader? Is that what he?
He at the end he gets all the chemicals on him or whatever.
I want to say his name is the leader. So he has like the giant brain and the mustache.
Okay, so that's
I think
who
his
that
name
is.
is the leader. Yeah, that's who he was going to become. Like that, get into his brain, made his brain super powered and all that.
Gotcha.
Shit. It was gonna.
Well, and this is a little bit different, but talking about that movie, what's his name from Civil War was in that movie, right?
Thunderbolt Ross.
That was
Who is supposed
really?
to come
yeah.
Red Hulk?
The Secretary of Defense, I guess, in Civil War
Okay.
was in the Ed Norton Hulk movie.
Yeah,
It's
he's
been
Betty,
too long since I've
Betsy
seen that.
Ross's dad.
Okay,
Yeah, it was the same. It was the same actor and everything, right? Same character, same actor.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Man, I was hoping. Gosh, there was a rumor Red Hulk was going to show up because he was in it. Because Thunderbolt Ross becomes
Right.
Red Hulk, and I want a Red Hulk more than anything in the Marvel Universe.
dude. Here's something I heard someone say the other day, which was really interesting. So at the end of Age of Ultron, Hulk's on his little mission. He's in his plane and his giant hulking body just flying off into nowhere.
Love that visual.
Yeah, Thor's got to go take care of his own stuff, right? He's got to take his hammer elsewhere. It's because Thor and Hulk could have destroyed the other team.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't. That you cannot have gods fighting a civil war because it just doesn't work.
That would have been the perfect way to bring in Red Hulk, though. One side has Red Hulk, one side has Green Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
I would have been fine with that. I just want.
Maybe it was more of a way to navigate around calling it Avengers 3.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You leave out two of the Avengers. It's not the whole team.
It's not the whole. Come on.
It's not
It's
all
a
of them.
Captain America movie.
And I'm honestly glad they left him out because then they have that buddy movie coming out with Thor Ragnarok, which it's weird calling anything.
Oh, is that going to be Thor and Hulk?
Yeah. The rumor is it's going to be a
Good.
Thor and Hulk buddy cop movie.
Sweet.
Dude,
Which doesn't make sense 'cause
I'm in.
Ragnarok is an apocalypse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
calling that a buddy cop movie just seems oxymoronic.
It
But
does.
I mean,
It does.
I feel like with Thor, you need a fun, fresh spin on it.
No, I agree. And then, I think it was you guys know Sean Keller. I was talking to him. He told me what he was reading is that apparently it's going to be kind of tied into Planet Hulk. I don't know if you guys have read Planet Hulk.
No,
I
I never
haven't.
did.
Where he gets Hulk is taken to this separate planet where he can't turn back into Banner, and he's forced to fight these Coliseum battles with other Hulk figures until they find a way to break out. Apparently, because Planet Hulk has been rumored for years, they're mixing the two, and Thor and Hulk end up on a distant planet where they're in the Coliseum battle sort of scenario.
Interesting.
And they have to
The
fight
two
their way
gods
out.
of them. Yeah. Now I want to say Joss Whedon. I don't know if it was shot or if it was just his idea, but his idea was for instead of Hulk to be flying off into the sunset, if he took off into outer space.
Yeah, that's what he said he wanted to do.
That would have been
They would have said for Guardians.
Oh,
I think in the comics, Hulk joined Guardians for a little bit.
Interesting.
I think he should.
No, Thing did.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, that can't happen.
Not with that attitude. Now, if you saw that last Fantastic Four movie,
Yeah, right.
they might get it back.
It's prime. It's prime
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
It's prime time.
I wanted to like that movie so bad.
Yeah.
I really
Fantastic Four?
did because I'm the kind of guy if someone just total takes a dump all over a movie.
Yeah.
I'm the guy I'm not like the follower. I'm like I want to find something good about it.
Right.
I want to get on there.
Yeah.
And it was just they made it so difficult.
Let me tell you. I totally agree with what you're saying, and I think do you notice and maybe you feel this way that some people want some of these movies to be bad. Do you ever feel that? I don't want any of these comic book property movies to be bad.
I think that's
want them
just
all
me,
to be.
that's me rebelling against whatever that is.
I kind of want Jared Leto's Joker to be bad.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good. Let's
Go
talk
on.
about this. Yeah.
Go on.
Well, he just reminds me. You guys have played Saints Row, right?
No.
Okay,
not.
It's a game that's been out for years.
I've heard of it.
It just reminds me of like a created character on Saints Row.
Okay.
The Joker needs to wear a fucking shirt.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
I don't know if you read. What was it? Which one was it? All-Star?
All-Star.
Batman
he
doesn't
Robin.
wear. That was.
He's got a giant.
Nobody
dragon.
liked that though, except for me. So
Okay,
I could let that go.
I liked it too.
Remember that
That's good.
Spring Break movie that came out a couple years ago where James Franco had the braids? That's what I think of with this Joker.
Yeah.
Hey, but have you seen the shots though of him wearing a full-out tuxedo and a Tommy gun?
Yeah, but he's still got a fucking damage tattoo on his
He
forehead.
does.
Right.
He does.
But okay, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Again, this is my totally. I'm rebelling against this really hard.
No, I understand.
And I can't help it. It may be terrible, and if it is, I'll admit it.
Yeah.
But okay, you got the Joker's
There's
character.
so much exposition.
You've got the You've got the character that is the Joker, right?
Yeah.
The Joker is a lot of things. Mm-hmm. He's a lot of things in the comic books, but one thing he is, especially in like the animated series, he likes a good joke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He likes theatrics, right?
Right.
And I keep imagining this Joker. They may not go this way. I really hope they do. I keep imagining this Joker getting a damaged tattoo on his forehead, not because he feels damaged, but because that's hilarious. That's on my forehead forever.
Right.
That's something a dumb person would think. And I'm just kidding.
Or a completely psychotic.
Well, see,
like,
here's the thing. I think it would be interesting, and I always like this, like when the Joker's played this way. One thing that Nolan's Joker, that Heath Ledger's Joker had none of, was theatrics. Really, he wore makeup and he was scarred, but it wasn't like it was about proving this sort of nihilist point.
He set a pile of money on fire.
No, I know.
That's
Yeah, right.
theatric.
Okay, fair enough. That's theatric in a particular type of way. But it was this.
but
he
not,
was just
not in the way, not of the look at me
he
kind
was-
of theatrics.
In
Okay.
some sort of way, he was trying to teach people something, right? He wanted them to know what he knew, that everything was pointless or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a Joker who sometimes is Heath Ledger style and will like stick a pencil in your eyeball, and then sometimes is Cesar Romero, right? I like the idea that
Yes.
the Joker is just batshit unpredictable. Like sometimes he'll just hang out with you for a while, and you guys will play video games. You'll do a tattoo on his forehead, and you guys will hang out, and then he'll shoot you in the face, and then like call your mom and tell her about it.
I agree.
Do you know
with
what I
you
mean?
Until you said the tattoo, because Cesar Romero Joker unhinged. But yes, but I think the Joker even has like he holds himself in such a high regard. I couldn't see him being like, I'm going to tattoo myself.
Okay.
He's so pompous. He's the crown prince of crime. He puts himself on a different pedestal.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't see him even looking at someone and saying, "You're good enough to tattoo me."
Right.
Because I see, part of this also comes from the rumor that Jason Todd became Joker, and that I will.
But that's actually been
yeah.
debunked.
I will
Yeah,
fight
right.
anyone with my fist.
That's right. Somebody
That's been debunked.
Who said that?
Somebody who
the
did
tour guide thing,
the tour guide thing said this is Jason Todd's Joker, who's
or Jason Todd's Robert.
Jason Todd's Robin.
Right.
Well, that doesn't mean he can't be the Joker afterwards. That just means that was his suit. That just means that was Jason Todd's suit.
I guess so.
No, but
They're not going to do that. That would be so off the mainstream path. I don't think they would do
I
that.
promise this to both of you and every listener. When I go see that,
Yeah.
if there is a reveal that Jason Todd is the Joker, I will stand up and yell "no" like Michael from The Office.
Right. No!
Until
No,
everyone
God,
leaves
no!
until everyone leaves the theater. I will
Like
just
Toby
yell
showed
no.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. No! No! No!
I mean, I feel like that. What that would mean is
It's just confusing.
it's
Mass
confusing,
audience.
and what it means is you'll never get a showdown between Batman and the Joker.
Exactly.
That's what it means.
Well,
and I don't think they'll do that.
And we'll never get a good Red Hood.
Right, yeah.
Which would be
Yeah, I don't think
amazing
they'll
for
do
live
that.
action.
I don't think they'll do that. That would be the weirdest choice. I mean,
For live action?
no, not
do the
Red
Jason
Hood.
Todd
The
Joker.
Jason Todd Joker thing. Yeah. That would just be the weirdest thing.
But here,
Yeah.
I'm really okay. I'll be the first to say when I first saw the pictures of the Joker, I was kind of hoping it was like they were saying 75th anniversary kind of Joker, like just kind of a funny picture of him.
All the things added in.
Yeah, I was hoping that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm at the point now where I'm like, if it fits the story and it fits the character, like whatever.
See,
if he does it well, whatever.
I agree. I'm not like in love with the aesthetic. I'm not like finally he's got a damage tattoo on his forehead, But I'm like, I'll wait. I'll give it till August. I'll watch the movie and I'll go in as much as I can, being like, do well with it.
I'm
like,
going in optimistically.
Do good. Yeah.
I treat every superhero movie like a different graphic novel.
Right.
Which I think you need to do. You can't pigeonhole the movies to the comics.
No. Yeah.
But if you look at it as each movie is a graphic novel where you can take liberties with the character and it doesn't necessarily affect the overall canon.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to walk into. And that's what I'm doing with this joke. I'm like, okay, Jared Leto's a great actor.
Yeah.
He's very method. Maybe at the end, like he bleaches all the tattoos off and goes back to all pale skin.
Sure. Well, maybe every time he jumps into the vat of acid, it like
maybe
right. Yeah. Who knows?
But even so, like.
Who knows?
I don't know why. Just the idea of him looking in the mirror and like just like laughing because he has that on his forehead tickles me for some reason. I don't know. I
do like the idea of the grill and that they pointed out it's because Batman has punched the fuck out of his teeth
out. Yeah.
Well, at first I was like, "Fuck that." Then I was like, "Oh, that's fine."
And actually, there's also a more real world pragmatic reason, which is you just need to separate this from Heath Ledger as much as you can.
Right. So I mean, the biggest thing is like you can't do Leto can't do no one whoever's taking on the Joker mantle cannot do Ledger's Joker.
No.
Well, that's
it has to be the farthest thing from it.
Here's my other complaint though: is the kid from Gotham. Again, he knocked it out of the park.
He was good.
I could watch that kid do Joker for years.
Yeah.
And now seeing this kind of different take, but I'm like, it's not even as good as what they're giving me on Fox.
Right.
Well,
but just aesthetically,
from what I've seen,
just aesthetically, yeah.
Well, I mean, delivery is yet to be seen.
Yeah, yet to be seen. Yeah.
There's a few moments in that second Suicide
seen,
Squad trailer though that gave me like the giggles so hard.
Oh, like the toys part?
The moment where he's got that Tommy gun, he's wearing that full-on tuxedo, and his mouth's wide open, and he's just like, I'm like, that's the Joker.
I mean, that's
to me.
Something I'm looking forward to with his Joker is I feel like Ledger's Joker didn't smile that much, which is fine for him. I mean, he smiled some.
He smiled like the whole movie.
Did he?
No,
I don't know. I feel like he was like,
it was like
but he had the scars.
He couldn't help but smile because of the scars.
But he was pretty like he smiled like at the beginning when he takes the mask off in the bank.
Yeah, it's more about let's put a smile on that face.
And he yeah,
that's the smile.
But like I feel like this Joker has the potential. I don't know if they might bomb it, but he has the potential at least to like find joy in like murderous rampages, and I think that'll be fun.
I think that's something that we need. We need to.
Yeah, in the age of the anti-hero. And
well, they're talking about doing a Joker spinoff.
Oh, really?
There's a rumor because they're doing the Harley spinoff, and they talked about doing.
I heard about that.
Hey,
they like Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Apparently, they're talking about that. And they're talking about a Joker.
Can we talk about the Harley spinoff for a second?
Interesting.
Yes.
I have been waiting so long for a good, solid Barbara Gordon on screen. I thought we were going to get it with Batman v Superman with what's her face,
Jenna
Malone.
Yeah.
Malone, yeah,
and I think she'd do just fine.
Sure,
yeah. But I'm a huge Batgirl fan for whatever reason.
Yeah,
and if you have a Harley Quinn movie, that probably means you've got Birds of Prey being introduced into this movie.
Maybe that's why they wouldn't let Felicity Smoke use Oracle in Arrow.
Maybe so.
They straight up tried, and they told them, no, you can't use it. We got Oracle plans already.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, that's good.
So that'd also be a really good way to introduce Nightwing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't bring in the Bat family in this DC Films universe,
DC
whatever they're calling it, like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, I think...
Come on.
Just going back to Joker for just one second.
Feel free.
We'll hop back over
and
to
Batman family. It all does depend on how he interacts with Batman. That's the telltale of if he's a good Joker is how that Joker interacts with Batman and how the whole Jason Todd thing goes.
Yeah, but the way Affleck has played Batman thus far, I think it could be really interesting to see those two in a room together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Affleck, I mean, I'll straight up say Ben Affleck's my favorite Batman to this point.
High fives on that.
Yes, I agree.
High fives.
I can't reach you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
But that's a
high fives.
Dude, Affleck knocked it out of the park, in my opinion.
He was wonderful.
He was wonderful.
If nothing else, just the chin.
Like, just the chin. Yeah.
That's animated series Batman. That's what I wanted.
He's the first live action Batman that's actually looked like Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fit, like, he was ripped as shit, which you need to be if you're the one without powers.
Oh, yeah. He had several muscles.
And I like that he accepted that he was out of his elements at some times in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, right.
Like when Doomsday is there and he's like, shit.
He's just getting out of there. Yeah,
yeah. He's like,
I'm gone.
What am I here for?
I'm
just wait for the right shot.
Wait for the moment.
Take.
Exactly.
Like, tactician.
Just let Wonder Woman, those giant strides, she would just jump and scream with her sword in the air.
Yeah.
That was pure joy for me.
And here's the thing. That movie had problems. Everybody knows.
It had lots of problems.
Everybody's
but it had a lot of
good
joygasm moments.
Right.
Too.
And you know how Facebook will like remind you of stuff that you posted years in the past? You know, it'll be like, you posted this however many years ago. I do have to say I was kind of happy with myself. I posted in 2013, like not long after the announcement, I posted one of those like fan-made pictures of Ben Affleck holding the button that says, I believe in Ben Affleck. And I was like, yep, 2013. I knew it. I knew he could do it. I knew he could do it. So, yeah.
He was a good... I promise you, there's a podcast out there somewhere where he was my Batman choice.
Yeah,
he just works.
Yeah, he does.
He works.
And he's got Kevin Smith to kind of fill him in, help him build the character too.
Right.
See, I'll be the first to admit when it first got announced, my heart kind of sank a little bit.
Yep.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it took me like 2 days to get on board the train.
I think.
And once I was on the train, I'm like, wait a minute. This makes he looks like
it makes
he looks
ton
like
of
Bruce
sense.
Wayne.
Yeah. You're just thinking about him from being Ben Affleck too much.
Right.
And, you know, that was
bad Ben Affleck, like, like, you know, early 2000s, like just take on the job Ben Affleck.
Yeah, for sure.
Not like the town Ben Affleck or Argo Ben Affleck.
Argo's so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, I think, and this is a weird way of saying it, I think Ben Affleck in his own right, and I say this with a giant grain of salt, has become iconic in his own right. And like you were saying, Ben Affleck is Ben Affleck.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Know? So when you put iconic name Ben Affleck with iconic name Batman, you're like, how are those two things going to mix?
Yeah, sure.
Like you expected, like Christian Bale, like you knew who he was, but he wasn't.
But it was like,
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He wasn't already a face.
Exactly. Same thing with Michael Keaton. You've seen him around, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, totally.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think it's a stellar move for Warner Bros. To start giving him a little bit more creative control
because he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder. I like what he does. Like I've liked a lot of Snyder movies, but this movie was the first movie where I was like, oh, why do you have to be like all you? Like, why can't you just be kind of
Why have to be so Snyder?
Yeah, why did I just feel like there's so many opportunities in that movie to not worry about something badass and to make it more so about the character.
Yeah.
And he just totally neglected a lot of those moments.
Snyder really likes muscles and testosterone.
Well, I think
for his aesthetic.
And that makes sense.
Which
and that makes
fine.
sense for superhero movies.
Fine. Yeah.
That's what they are.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you can't make a story out of that.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Now, I would have gave Affleck Batman vs Superman. Give that to Affleck and I can't remember the other dude's name that's helping helm like fucking everything DC.
Jeff Johns.
Not Jeff Johns. There's one other dude. Not Berlanti. He does all TV stuff.
Yeah.
There's I can't remember his name.
Is it a Warner Brothers person? Like a Warner Brothers exec?
Yeah. I can't. It's just like one of the dudes really helping helm things. But Ben Affleck and some other dude do that one.
Sure.
But if you ever do Flashpoint Paradox, where you have like Themyscira versus Atlantis, Superman's kind of give that to Zack Snyder.
Okay.
Give that into the world scenario to Zack Snyder. Make that as 300 as you fucking want, because that would be perfect.
I see. Yeah.
Have you guys read the Flashpoint Paradox?
Yeah, parts of it.
Yeah.
Parts of it, yeah.
So fucking, if not, on Netflix they have the movie now, which
I've seen that
stays
a few
relatively
close-ish.
I think you can handle like an Avengers style movie a little bit more, where all the character has been established.
It's all been fleshed out.
You already care about each one of these characters because specific filmmakers have taken given their take and time. And just let Zack Snyder just give him his paintbrush, you know,
exactly.
and let him,
because he's a visual guy. Yeah,
I'm having so much fun with my paintbrush.
That's the perfect way to put it, dude. Like let someone else build everybody up, and then he gets to do the big battle.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that's exactly the way it should.
Because he knows how to make it look super cool.
I love his visuals. Like I remember reading about, because everybody was talking about BVS when it first came out, and people were saying, "Well, look at Zack Snyder's best movies. They're direct, sort of." remakes or direct translations from other stories. Yeah. He's not story building on his own. He's taking a story that's already there and he's making it look great.
Yeah, and he knows how to take from page to screen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Like Watchmen, fucking beautiful.
Dude, I love Watchmen.
It was great. It
was cool.
And have you guys read the new DC relaunch?
Not yet.
Not yet, no.
I heard it's awesome.
Good, thanks.
Did Jeff Johns write it?
Yes, it's his last run.
Really?
It's one of his last runs, yeah.
Because he's getting into film, probably.
A lot of people were pissed that they think Marvel did the Captain America swerve to distract from Jeff Johns' last run. I'm not going to give you any spoilers except for one word.
Okay.
Watchmen.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Did not expect it.
Interesting.
Okay. And another 3 words. I'll give you the Watchmen spoiler and 3 words. Original Wally West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where the first issue goes, and it's really interesting. I'm totally on board. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
But man, I'm so fucking on board.
So let me just to take it in a different direction for a second, because I did forget to bring it back to wrestling before, and I do want to.
Lucha.
So yeah.
Lucha.
So Lucha. We saw
those guys. Know how to get it out.
It was awesome.
Kalisto and Sin Cara.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were at WWE Live.
So
nice.
Yeah. They were on trampolines and stuff.
So are there like you were talking about, like watching superhero movies or something and thinking of them as each a different graphic novel and not worrying about canon too much? Is there some analogy or analogous aspect of wrestling where it's like you have canon and then you have like, do you have a character who does something or they try to rebrand a character and people hate it, or
all
you know
the
what I'm saying?
Yeah, all the time. No, in wrestling, canon's really, really weird.
Yeah.
Like if you say, like we were talking about Kevin Owens earlier.
Yeah.
As long as he's Kevin Owens, everything Kevin Owens does is canon.
Okay.
Now, Kevin Owens could leave WWE for, say, 2 years.
And
he could come back as Jeff Martin.
Okay.
And WWE will usually act like they're a brand new person, like what they've done previously never existed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like, you guys know who Kane is, right?
Yeah.
Now, and I know you know the name Diesel.
I remember the name. Yeah.
Now he's Kevin Nash. Now he was Super Shredder in the Turtles.
Okay.
When Diesel left WWE back in the day, Vince McMahon was like, "Fuck that! I created those characters. We're still gonna have a Diesel."
Okay.
So they took the guy that plays Kane.
Okay.
And made him Diesel.
All right.
It didn't work.
Okay.
It didn't work at all.
Yeah.
But then he came back, 7-8 years later as Kane. No one ever mentioned the fake Diesel angle.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all in WWE, how WWE wants to write it or play it. For the most part now, because they give guys actual names and the characters. Yeah. It's all very much canon. And even now, like when they pull someone from like another wrestling organization. Yeah. They'll mention it. They'll mention that they did this there, they did this in Japan, blah blah. They try to keep it as realistic as possible because they want to be as reputable as your UFCs and such. Okay, yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So like, I've seen a couple. I haven't watched hardly any UFC fights, but I've seen a couple, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I just can't. It's just too much. Like I would rather watch. It's just so violent. It's very violent, right? Yeah. And it's just two dudes punching each other.
You feel like there's a certain like in WWE like. They know what's going to happen. They know it's more of a let's do this thing together. Right. Let's perform for these. It's like people. A live stunt show. You're telling a story. Yeah, exactly. It's not like, all right, this dude's forehead's going to flop right over his eyes. Exactly. Once I hit him hard enough. Yeah. Like, it's a story of redemption, or a story of revenge, or a story of getting screwed over by your best friend, or a story of not being able to do it even though you tried your best. Like, it's when you get those narrative. Yeah, it's when you get that depth to it. The wrestling really gets good. Now, on a pay-per-view, you'll usually get maybe 3, if you're lucky, 3 or 4 of those out of a pay-per-view. 8 matches. Yeah. But when you get that, it is so satisfying as a fan of like, man, he really sold that. He told that whole story. Yeah, we're done now. Or even after, like, if it's really, really good and it's not over, that after the match, you're like, that man feels like he has unfinished business. I get that. Okay. I get that from a story point. Yeah. So did the UFC thing, did that really like divide wrestling fans? Has it like siphoned off a lot of people who were just looking for the violence, or is it kind of a different scene? I think it actually gave more WWE more fans. Like I think there are a lot more people like you and I who are like,
damn, it's just people punching each other in the face.
Yeah, right.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But damn.
I like a fantasy version of that,
Yeah,
but like the real thing
there's
is
something
not
about
fun.
it that's just kind of more than that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just more than just hitting each other.
What do you mean, though?
I'm not downing
WWE.
UFC at all by that.
No, WWE.
Yeah, sure.
WWE feels like it's
Like
something,
it's more than-
something
It's a
special, I guess.
You know, it's
Right,
a
right,
production. It's not
Yeah.
with the UFC. I think there's that level of chaos
Uh-huh.
and that level of unplanned nature
Yeah.
of like it's just guys punching each other until somebody falls
Yeah,
down.
and there's something to be said about like the skill level it takes to
Sure.
to
Yeah,
be
right.
like what's the Chica's name? Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
Dude, she's mean.
Yeah.
She is tough.
Yeah, and she wants to wrestle.
Does
Really?
she?
Yeah, like
Oh,
she's so
interesting.
straight up. She's like, once I get out of UFC, I'm going to WWE, and which makes me very happy.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with UFC, it's more that Roman Coliseum mindset.
Totally.
Yeah.
Punch each other for our amusement.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
Right,
With WWE, it's like you get a story with it. You know, these guys aren't
Sure.
really fighting each other, like, but you're getting entertained in the same way. It's
Yeah.
it's like watching an Avengers battle in a
Right,
movie.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know why it's gonna. Only in
Sure.
WWE, you don't know the good guy's always going to beat the bad guy.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a difference.
Here's something that I found super interesting when we went and saw it live at the Yum Center. There was a moment where one guy has the belt.
Yeah.
Excuse my novice terminology. One guy has the big belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this other guy's like, I'm going to take that belt from you.
This was
right?
the last. This wasn't this the final.
Maybe,
one?
maybe so.
Maybe not. I'm not sure.
And at the very end, like you think he's going to get it, but there's this big disqualification thing that happens because this isn't being broadcast on TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't hand off the belt unless it's like the big show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's oh goodness. Another one too. That's not true at all, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Have you guys heard of NXT at all?
I suppose, yeah.
NXT is like WWE's like little brother programs where they put all their guys before they bring them up to WWE to kind of train them and get their characters together.
Like Hogwarts.
Yeah, basically. It's kind of like the CBL or the CBA. Like before you get, the NBA, if you're not good enough, you go to CBA for a little bit and they bring you up.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's because they have NXT. That's actually the hottest thing in wrestling right now is that miniature brand because it's got all these indie guys in it. They gave the title away on a non-televised show recently, like their NXT World Heavyweight title.
Wow.
Interesting.
And it was. It might seem like they gave it away on a show that wasn't televised, but it was all over the internet the next day. That's all anybody was talking about.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I guess in this day and age, it's a little different because everything is like so plugged in.
Yeah. Every once in a while, WWE will give them away on what's called house shows. Like when they're not like taped or televised or anything.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'll see a title drop there. Huh. But it's huge news online then.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that never happens.
That's interesting.
You assume it was an accident or something, or oh shit, the referee accidentally counted when he wasn't supposed to.
Okay.
Like, it was one of those sorts of things.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So is it like
I guess you can't, you still have to have like, just because it's a house show, it doesn't mean that there's no stakes, right? So I guess there's at some point, like my thought was like, well, he's not going to lose the belt because it's like it's not being televised or whatever.
Yeah,
But
and he definitely could.
he definitely could have.
It's weird though. Who had the? Do you remember how long ago did you guys go?
it wasn't long?
like 2 or 3 months ago,
Yeah.
a couple months ago.
I'm trying to think of who had the belt when
I
you
think I
guys
have a
went.
picture.
It was
I think
Kevin Owens.
It was Kevin Owens and
The Intercontinental belt.
and Dean Ambrose. Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And Dean Ambrose was going for it or something. Was like
Okay.
trying to take it.
I didn't
Let me see if I have
know if you guys ran into Roman Reigns or not. It's The Rock's cousin.
Oh no.
He's the heavyweight
I feel
champion
like
right now.
I feel like that sounds familiar, but
Does it? I don't know.
I don't know.
He probably would have got booed real bad.
So we went on February 27th of this year. So it was a while back.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay, that was okay. This guy won at WrestleMania. It's the weirdest phenomenon. Like I said, wrestling's in a weird place right now. Like The Rock's cousin,
Yeah.
he's the world heavyweight champion. They are pushing this guy, and that means like they're saying he's popular. They're giving him screen time, letting him win. All
Right.
that shit. They're pushing him to the moon. And normally with WWE audiences, they're just on board. They're like, oh yeah,
Just works.
This guy, we like this guy for whatever reason.
Doesn't work.
This dude, no. This is they do not like this guy. Like I don't like him either. But for whatever reason, the WWE universe is just
didn't work.
Just declared
boo
there.
him viciously.
Wow.
I feel bad for this guy when he
Yeah.
he's supposed to be a quote unquote good guy.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But then as soon as his music hits, the audience just boo.
Why is that?
Man, that's
It's
interesting.
testament that he's not a good wrestler.
Yeah.
He's not a good wrestler. He doesn't have good microphone work.
Ooh.
And like I said, the audience is evolving and they expect more now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably
yeah.
also the fact that like if he's The Rock's cousin,
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
It's
and he
nepotism.
doesn't.
Nepotism going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Vince McMahon has a history of like pushing big guys because they're big.
Okay.
And I think that's what you kind of run into. He's a good looking guy. He's a big guy. He's a former football player, very chiseled.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get pushed. But then you get the fans who are like, "This isn't what we want. You should be listening to us. We're into your product."
It's a different day and age. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it very much is the audience pushing and Vince pushing back at this point. It's so weird.
Yeah. That's super cool.
That's cool.
interesting.
That's interesting.
It's cool, but it's so weird to be a wrestling fan because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they've tried pushing this guy for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And like he was in the Royal Rumble is, right? 30 man over the top.
I've heard it.
It's a 30-man match.
I've played the video games, but that's about it.
There are some good ones. The 64 were the best video games, but that's a whole other thing.
Oh, those were good.
The point is, it's a 30-man match.
Yeah.
And at the very end, you get down to 2 guys. And it was this dude versus a guy whose whole thing is he is Bulgarian, and Russia is better than America, according to him.
Okay.
They hate The Rock's cousin so much that the crowd cheered this other dude. They cheered the anti-American.
Wow.
And WWE's
man.
like, fuck, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've had their hands up in the air for like 2 years. Like, we don't know.
That's
we
interesting.
Don't know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was interesting also that you were saying, and I hadn't thought about this until you just said it, but like you were saying how they're sort of transition. They're giving people regular names, like they're going by regular names a little bit more now. So that we saw. I mean, think about like everybody's a character, right? But think about how many characters we saw without a just regular name, like a first and last name. Like it was Stardust. That was the only thing.
He just quit.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. He quit because they wouldn't let him quit being Stardust.
Interesting.
He just wanted to be a guy.
He just wanted to be Cody Rhodes, son of one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Right.
Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
He begged him. He's like, I just want to be Cody Rhodes again. I don't want to do this shit anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they were like, no.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. But
it's weird.
He was probably the only one. I mean, Sheamus only has one name, but like
It's a name.
Yeah, but it's a human name. It's not like a character name. But that's interesting. So that speaks to the whole sort of shift in the...
I mean, a while back, they went away from the every character has to have a side job. Like, this guy's a garbage man. This man's a repo man. This guy's a whatever. They went away from that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think it was in the Attitude Era was your Stone Cold Steve Austins, your Kevin Nash, your Shawn Michaels, where you started... Well, not Kevin Nash was WCW, but where you started finding they went away from the gimmick names.
Yeah.
And they still keep those because Vince McMahon is a child at heart.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, for the most part now, man, people want to believe they're watching real competition.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, even if they know it's fake.
Sure. Yeah.
They want to feel like it's a little more real. So I think that I honestly want to say they probably took that from UFC a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, UFC has been a huge thing. Like
it's very
kind of
popular.
An anomaly of a thing, really.
Man's son actually tried to buy UFC.
Really?
Back in the 90s, yeah.
Huh.
It was up for sale or they were doing poorly and he tried to convince his dad, he's like, we should buy the shit out of that.
Yeah.
And Vince said, no, we're going to do the World Bodybuilding Federation instead.
Okay.
That doesn't exist anymore.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, Vince McMahon loves big guys.
Yeah.
And incest angles.
Oh,
Whoa.
nice.
That's
Whoa.
yeah,
Really?
No. Yeah. He has tried pushing that a couple times, apparently. Like, you guys know Stephanie McMahon?
No.
Maybe.
That was a little it's his daughter. She
Okay.
runs the company now, whatever.
Okay.
And his son Shane also runs the company now, whatever. But on multiple occasions, he tried pushing it, but he was like, she was pregnant when it first came out. He was like, Stephanie, what we need to do? This storyline where I'm the father. And Triple H is mad at me and he tries to fight me because I'm the father.
What?
She's like, well, then that means we had sex. All right. I get what you're saying. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. You had sex with Shane, and Shane's the father. She's like, well, that's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'll be great. It'll be a great storyline.
So how much can you separate? Because I remember Vince McMahon. Like, I remember seeing him. How much can you separate him, the character, from him, the person? Do you know what I mean?
It depends on how many dirt sheets you read, man.
Okay.
I've read
Wait, what does that mean? Like,
rumor mill, and just like behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of stuff about Vince McMahon out there.
Okay.
A lot of really unsettling stuff about Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But man, I've given up.
Trying to differentiate.
Yeah, I don't know where the character and where the old senile man ends.
Right. Right.
Like he said, fuck on live TV like 2 months ago.
Okay.
The man's not there anymore. He's checked out.
Yeah.
He either doesn't give a shit or he's just checked out.
Right.
Vince McMahon is his own entity. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he makes wrestling interesting, damn it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, dude, in this day and age, it's you gotta have some sort of clickbaity kind of weird.
Maybe
thing
he's
happening.
maybe he's just a genius.
No, he's not a genius.
Okay.
His ideas are just so weird that you look at him and you're like, oh, fuck, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Where's this going?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you gotta watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to
It's
watch
like a train
You gotta
wreck.
see.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like reality TV. It's all just a big train wreck, right?
Yeah. I think wrestling's this weird stew of like you get your good wrestling, your good technical stuff, and everything you appreciate.
Yeah.
And then you get this weird as fuck Vince McMahon angle that comes in. You're like, I like that too.
Yeah, you can't help it.
Yeah.
I like it.
You just have to take in all these different things when you take it. It's not just one thing. It's a fruitcake. Everything that's left on the counter, you shove it in there.
Yeah.
And that's what you get.
Yeah. Was it? So I know that like, and we can talk about something besides wrestling as well, but I'm interested.
No,
like,
man.
So like, because I remember when I was into it when I was little, it was WWF and WCW, right? And so like, I remember having like trading cards of both. You had like Ric Flair, I think was WCW, and then you had, so like they merged together or one bought out the other, right? Something like that.
Yeah, Vince McMahon bought WCW.
Bought WCW. Did that change? I mean, does that make it, because I feel like with like comics and stuff like that, you have the big two and that competition's really nice, and whoever's winning at the time, however you feel about that.
No.
But did it change things in that way? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing was, when WWE bought WCW, it was... Oh, shit. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's fine.
I need
No worries.
a rag.
Just let it happen.
Just let it be. I mean, do you want to
You guys
dry off?
I just feel bad.
No, you're fine. You guys keep going. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, God. I don't even know what I'm saying. I just feel like I feel really bad now.
No, you're fine.
I'm so sorry. Who cares? So... When WWE bought WCW, there was what's called guaranteed contracts.
Okay.
Where the WCW guys got to, like, they had, like, we're going to give you $5 million this year no matter what.
Yeah.
They didn't have to wrestle. They didn't have to do anything. And so when WWE bought WCW, all those contracts were still active.
Okay.
So your guys like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Bill Goldberg, all of those, they didn't have to do anything because WWE still had to honor those contracts.
Okay.
So when WWE bought them, they didn't have to come wrestle.
Yeah.
They could just stay home and they were going to get paid everything.
Yeah.
So when WWE bought out WCW, it wasn't as cool as it could have been because not all the big guys came over. You didn't get your dream matches like your Stone Cold versus your Goldberg, or Sting versus your Undertakers, because those guys were like, "Fuck it, we get paid to sit at home."
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna sit at home.
Why do that?
Yeah. So you got like your Booker T's and your which was fine, and your Buff Bagwells. And it wasn't as big of a thing. Like it wasn't as cool. Like it wasn't like you got Batman versus fucking Iron Man.
Right.
You got Buff Bagwell versus Brian Christopher, and you're like, who gives a fuck?
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
So it wasn't. Like, it was cool. Like what worked when WCW was around was like when they kept. A guy would pop up either way. Like, WCW guy popped up in WWE, or WWE guy popped up in WCW. That was the cool trade-off.
Yeah, yeah.
You get that a little bit back more now with TNA. It's an organization that's they're trying to be like WCW, not really.
Okay.
Every once in a while you get a TNA guy that pops up in WWE, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
But it's not as big as it was with WCW because WCW was a rival.
Right.
TNA is it's not even close.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the trade-off you're getting now. Like you are still getting those cool moments.
Right.
And WCW being bought out could have had those cool moments.
Yeah. Just contractually didn't.
Yeah, so those contracts fucked them, man.
Yeah.
Like Sting didn't show up he just showed up within the last year.
Okay. All right.
So it kind of fucked him with the contracts and stuff. Like you thought it would be a lot cooler by the time, but they just didn't have the options. They brought in their B squad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was cool at the time, that at least that one night, because Nitro aired.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking just you're getting this regular episode.
Yeah.
And then Vince McMahon pops up on WCW. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, okay.
What is this? And then,
right.
like, you're like, I had both. I remember having both of them on different channels, hitting last channel on my remote.
Yeah,
going back and forth, seeing what the hell is going on.
Right.
And so that for that one night was very cool. But after that, man, it was
it
was such a letdown as to what it could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Stuff all over your seats. I feel really bad.
Oh no, dude, it's totally fine.
I'm honestly not even sure how I did it this much.
No, it's totally fine.
For the listeners, small beer spill.
So
it's fine.
Tell us a little bit about your podcast. Then is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Powerbomb?
Yeah,
Powerbomb the
Power
Podcast.
Beezy,
Power Beezy, is what they call it on the streets.
the pod keys.
That's what I've heard it
When
called.
we sell it in bags,
Right.
we call it
Right.
Beezy. Powerbomb the Podcast is a passion project. Brian Barrow of Destination fame
Right.
mentioned to me that like a lot of people had mentioned that they wanted more wrestling stuff because his wrestling shows on Nostalgia were doing really well. I was like, dude, I eat wrestling for breakfast. That's just what I love. Let me do it. He's like, would you really want to? I was like, yeah, I would love to do a wrestling podcast. So I got into the DNN, and he just he gave me the keys to the studio, quite literally.
Yeah.
And I got really lucky in finding a job where I had a buddy, Steven Johnson, who is just an encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge.
Oh, nice.
Like, if you talk about some NWA wrestling match from 1982, down in Wisconsin, he'd be like, oh, yeah, I know about that one.
Nice.
Sure. And it's really great because I can fill in all the weird, nuanced stuff with this happened in the last 15 years, and then he's got all the extra. So it's really just a full flood of wrestling knowledge, and we try to keep it more comedy-based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I think a lot of wrestling podcasts have the tendency to go very ESPN or very newsy, or very serious.
Yeah, I was going to say, what kind of format is it? Do you follow current stuff pretty closely, or?
Still feel bad.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna. We do. We try to segment it because we don't want to stick all on current stuff because we talk a ton about wrestling. Like you heard me going on tangents today, and especially when I got he's there with me talking about how this guy's being booked or blah blah. We can go on forever. So we do what we like to call the news we're not going to talk about. Or I'll just mention 10 things within 2 sentences.
Yeah.
That are happening right now. So that we do, it's literally a segment called The News We're Not Going to Talk About.
Yeah.
10 bullet point storylines. Or we'll do what's called 10-word editorials.
Okay.
Or we'll bring up a subject to each other. We only have 10 words to discuss how we feel about it. So we touch on...
That's clever. I like that.
We try. We do current stuff. And then we'll do... different stuff like what's called Give Me a Gimmick. Like we'll get off current stuff called Give Me a Gimmick, or we'll give each other a wrestler, and then we have to think of a gimmick or a storyline or something they should be involved in. Our Vince McMahon secret booking diary, which, like I told you, Vince does some weird booking shit.
Yeah.
So it's one of those kind of things. Really try to keep it. We talk about current stuff, but mostly it's more. We try to be more entertaining than anything. I would argue.
Right.
Like. We try to be funny. We try to keep it fresh every week.
Yeah.
We don't just want to say, here's what happened. Like, we want to give you a little something extra. We talk about stuff that happened like a long time ago. Like, we just told the story about Ahmed Johnson. You remember Ahmed Johnson?
I remember the name.
Owen Hart, obviously.
Yeah.
Owen Hart played this joke on Ahmed Johnson where he called him. It was like, hey, we're from The Tonight Show. We want you to come on and be our guest tonight. We'll send a limo for you at about 8 o'clock. Great. Okay, so Ahmed Johnson goes out and buys a $4,000 suit. And he's standing outside waiting for the limo. And it's like an hour late, and Owen Hart kind of saddles up next to him and goes, so, man, that limo should have been here an hour ago, right? And then, like, Ahmed Johnson realizes he'd never told anyone about The Tonight Show and realizes he'd been fucked with.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those kind of things. We try to tell some of those kind of stories. Yokozuna being given laxatives on a plane.
Oh, God.
And him not being able to fit into the plane's bathroom. So they had to line up trash cans outside the bathroom to catch any...
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So,
it's rough.
So we do current stuff,
Yeah.
but then we like to dig into that kind of stuff, do the segments, and keep it light, keep it fun, just like that you could drive and listen to and not feel like you're just getting informed on shit.
Factoid stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just it gives you a fun, interesting platform to be like an entertainer as well.
Yeah. It's not just me going, here's what happened this week, and here are our thoughts on it.
Yeah, totally.
Like it's a little more of, here's something you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
Here's a fun little skit. Like it's trying to keep it, doing our best to keep it fresh and keep it entertaining, and not just being like, you want to hear our opinions and stuff, right?
Yeah, right. And that's interesting. So I know you at one point did comedy. I don't think you do that as much anymore. Like, do stand up? I know because I was listening to you on Eric's thing. Talk about like
I have stepped away a little bit. Man, it's weird to say that. I've had a lot of time in the past 2 weeks. I've written a lot of stuff down in a notebook, and I'm really considering getting back out there.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I've talked about it on another show. You guys might get an exclusive.
Exclusive.
The reason I really don't do stand-up anymore is because I have a kid, and I get him on the weekends. Which, if you're a stand-up comic, that's when you work.
Yeah, that's when you're doing anything.
So I was starting to get I was doing stand-up. I was getting better and better, and I was starting to get work and offers to do stuff on the weekends.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. That's exactly what I wanted. If I can keep getting work like this, I don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Or I don't have to have a regular job anymore.
Right.
But then I was like, well, that's shipping into the kid time there. And,
right.
It's an important time of his age and stuff, and I don't want to not be around.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to give that. Like, it didn't make sense to go to mics and keep making myself better if I wasn't going to do anything with it on the weekends, which is when...
Right,
you'd have to do it. So that's the only reason I really quit doing stand-up. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think I started doing generic jokes there for a while just to get booked.
Okay.
Which I didn't like that either. But mostly it came down to, man, like, if you're going to do that job, if you're going to do stand-up, you need to be able to do it on the weekends.
You got to jump all the way in,
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be 100% in. You're like, this is my career now. These are the hours I work.
Yeah.
And I couldn't commit completely to that.
Sure, yeah. Sure.
But my kid is getting to the point where he's wanting to stay the night at his friends more and stuff like that. He's got other stuff going on,
right,
sports and stuff. So he doesn't. We could do stuff throughout the week, and on the weekends he could probably maybe do his own thing. I think that was kind of always the long-term plan, was to get back into it once he kind of stopped wanting to come over on the weekend.
Once it worked better,
yeah. Once he understood, like once I could explain to him, like, oh hey buddy, I got to go do this because it's going to pay our mortgage for the month.
Right, right.
Yeah, but I'll pick you up Monday after school. Like, right. But that's the only reason I ever really stopped. Like, I was getting the work, man. I was there. I had done what I had worked to do, and then had to make that call of, like,
right.
Do I do it or do I be a dad? And I decided to be a dad. And I haven't looked back, but I still got. For no fucking reason that I understand, I'm still somehow involved in the comedy community. So
sure,
I don't know why they still accept me.
Right,
it's fine.
So how did you get? I know we're already running at like an hour and like almost 20 minutes, but
oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been mostly wrestling. I'm sorry, guys.
Just kind of briefly or quickly, how did you get involved with Matt Gaither and Bagged and Board and that whole thing?
Well, Matt and I used to make out at the skating rink. And that's.
I thought so.
Man, I just want to leave it there, and like no one else says anything different.
Okay, next question.
And done.
I watched Bagged and Board. I thought the series was really interesting. I've known Kent and Jake and Sean for fucking years. I've known Craig for years, who's one of the writers on the show.
Yeah.
And then I just happened to send Craig a message like, what you guys are doing is fucking amazing. It's a really, really cool show. If you ever need extras or anything, anybody background or anything, let me know. He's like, well, it's weird to say that. I just talked to the director, Matt Gaither, and we needed a smarmy podcast host, and I thought you'd be perfect for it, so we kind of wrote this part for you. Do you want to do it?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, I do.
Like, oh, yeah, I would love to do a part.
You're like, no, I was just looking for background work, actually.
I just want to be an extra.
Just extra stuff.
But then they did a script read-through, and somehow I guess I didn't get the message on when it was happening and that I needed to be there. So I just didn't fucking show up.
All right.
For like the first script read-through, and then Matt's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Pro move, man.
Yeah.
Pro move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
you were
career
method.
ruined.
You were method.
Yeah, no, I was so mad. I'm Bryan Kennison. I'm a comic book dude. I don't just show up.
You don't just show up.
Yeah.
No, I felt like such an asshole. I sent Matt a message. Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. So then I had to sit there with Matt and Craig by ourselves doing a read-through, which was even more intimidating.
Yeah.
Than probably sitting down with the whole cast. But that's pretty much, like, really, it was just a very serendipitous message and perfect timing.
Yeah, dude, I have the exact same story with getting involved. It's funny because I had met Matt on a shoot where I was running audio for this Kroger shoot, and he was shooting it. Yeah. And Will had actually let me see the show. He was recommended the show through a friend. We watched the first 2 episodes because that's all that was out at the time.
Yeah.
And we were like, this is quality work for like a web series here in town.
Right.
And I like the Batman 89 references. Like,
oh,
the
Crime
so
Alley.
good.
Oh,
The Crime Alley and you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Those references rang so true to our childhood.
Yeah.
So I was on the shoot with Matt, and while we were eating lunch prior to getting back to work, he was talking to his guy that he was working with there. He was like, "So you coming out to the Bagged and Board premiere?" And I'm like, "Okay." And then Will had reached out to Matt.
Yeah.
Like a week prior, saying, "Hey, you should come out, be a guest on our podcast.
Come do the podcast.
We're a fan of the show." And so I'm like, "Wait, are you the creator director of Bagged and Board?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Did you get an invite to be on a podcast?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, that's my podcast." and then we went to the premiere of episode 3 at the
Tim Faulkner
that
Gallery.
Episode, huh?
Yeah.
your
That's a
your
good
big
episode.
debut. So we went to that episode, that premiere at Tim Faulkner.
Yeah.
And this was just a few days after that shoot.
Yeah.
And after that, about a month later, I'm like, well, I'm a composer as is, and I essentially just wrote Matt. I'm like, "Hey man, if you ever need help on the music, I'd love to get involved." He's like, "Actually, just a couple days ago, we lost our composer, so this is perfect timing." Right. And now he completely dominates my life.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna toot your horn a little bit here.
Toot, toot.
You've made all the difference. You really have. Like the composition has gotten noticeably better as the season went on, and man, that's obviously just straight directly to you guys. Like it's so much better. Especially, I think I said it earlier off air. I want to say it on air. Zoe's Ultimatum. You guys should have been the co-stars in that episode. It was so fucking good.
I appreciate that, dude. Let's talk about me.
Let's go back to you. Very, very good, though. Thoroughly impressed.
The difficult thing about Bagged and Board is walking the line of, should the audience actually feel something serious here, or should it be a gag?
Yeah.
And it's always going either one way or the other. And in Zoe's Ultimatum, that was the moment where, like, the flashback where she's like, she goes to the destination for the first time.
Yeah.
That track's called Lost and Found. I'm like, okay, well, this is actually a moment where people should actually really feel for her, her disconnect between who she was and where she's going.
Yeah.
And when she sees this sign, the destination where she needs to be, there should be this like uplifting moment, and you should feel sad but like hopeful, and then when you get there, there's this big like gag at the end, which there's at least 3 slowdown gags every episode.
And as Gaither loves it, I think about Bagged and Board from a fan perspective, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
He loves it.
He loves it. So we were extras in the show as well. I played, I don't remember my character's name.
We were a team.
Something
that's right. We were all evil together.
Something son and something son.
Something son. Yeah. So I guess I'm not that dedicated of a fan. I don't even know my character's name. But
Ricky's son and Ricky
and Ronnie's son or something. I don't know.
Ricky,
I gotta rewatch.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I like. You're talking about whether you should go gaggy or not the gag route. Like I like that the writing has steered more toward like you're starting to actually care about
Character
the characters.
development
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's not really as much about they reference Transformers and I know what Transformers is, right? It becomes more about like Ken's character and Jake's character and how all these characters fit together and stuff like that. And that's it's
and you pepper the gags throughout, like an actual
still funny.
real,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, still funny.
It helps you ebb and flow from one scene to the other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, totally.
The best part about this last episode, I let my mom hear a few of the tracks.
Yeah.
And there's this one track that's like this kind of epic Lord of the Ringsy style battle sounding track. And then it breaks down to this like single solo vocalist, and like she teared up as she was listening to it. She's like, and after it plays, she's like, "That's beautiful." I'm like, I can't wait for you to see the visual. It's this nasty.
No spoilers.
It's a car wash.
It's Ron shirtless, isn't it?
He actually keeps his shirt on.
Well, that's
spoiler alert.
I've been waiting to see Ron on shirtless for like 4 years.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think you get it.
Son of
This
a bitch.
won't be
But
it.
it's so funny because like I actually get to take the music seriously, and if you close your eyes and you're like, "Oh, this is something," right?
Yeah.
But when you open your eyes, it plays on a completely different level.
Well, I think that's how it should be, though.
Sure,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it work perfectly.
Yeah.
That's good score.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just
right.
well done.
I'm waiting. I can't wait to do the Bryan Kennison theme orchestral.
Oh god. I
Yeah.
want the sad version. I've thrown it at Matt so many times. Like you've seen Team America, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
when they do the sad version of America, fuck yeah. I'm like, Matt, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do that. Like I've thrown so many ideas for season 2, and he's like, we'll see.
Here's the thing. I'm ready. I mean, Bryan Kennison. Speaking of the character, Bryan Kennison was
So funny because Bryan
a
Kennison is
a character.
It's
right?
two different.
It's like
entities.
Vince McMahon. Right? But like the character was so like sort of like ego driven and kind of up his own ass about his podcast and things like that in the first episode. And then in later when he comes back, he's not working for, but he's definitely under the influence of Johnny Master.
Oh, yeah.
He's completely
all because of
working
that.
under Johnny.
All because of that computer. It seems like.
Well, I think Johnny was the money guy. He was the sponsor.
Right. That's true. Yeah, right.
He's the one that made that.
So
podcast.
it was always there. That theme was always there.
Yeah.
Of Johnny.
The
Yeah.
watch. I love the watch. You get credit for that one too.
That was good.
I just used. I sampled it.
So with the marching music.
Oh, where like the watch out in the music?
Yeah, the whole marching music when we were coming in episode 5.
Walking
or
into
episode 6.
Dude, I was so psyched about that. I ripped. I ripped the Wacha from episode 3. I took that same sample, and then I put it in the track. I tempo mapped it and put a little delay and reverb on it.
Man, it works so good for that intro
I
scene.
was so psyched when
It works so well. I think Brian, the character, is so attached to Johnny, though, because he allows him to have the show, which gives him an identity.
Right.
So, by extension, Johnny allows him to have an identity by allowing him to have a show.
Yeah.
Like, that existence.
It gives him like that sense of like purpose.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly.
Yeah.
In season 2, I don't know exactly all what's happening. I know Brian's lost. We threw around a couple ideas on where he could be going.
Okay.
But he doesn't have a financial backing of Johnny Masters anymore.
Right. That's
so.
okay.
Yeah, Brian's broken at the end of season 1.
I'm curious as to how like. I'm curious as to the sort of moral stature of Bryan Kennison. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You don't really. He's not a bad guy. He's on the bad guy side.
Yeah, but like I
you know.
feel like there's a lot of room for Bryan Kennison.
Yeah.
To be like that kind of anti-hero. Like I want, like at this point, like the character hasn't had a ton of opportunity for like to be super like rooted for.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I think there's totally room for that.
Well, now that's not happening. I guess I can talk about it. We were planning a spin-off for Bryan Kennison.
Oh, interesting.
Sean Keller and I started putting it together, and then Sean helped me put the finishing touches on it. It's not going through now because we want to focus on Bagging Board, making it as big as it possibly can be.
Right.
Sure.
The idea at the time, though, was Bryan Kennison was lost in a broken man because he lost his show. He didn't have anything to do. And some random TV producer for a local television network needs a news anchor. for a nightly news show.
Nice.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so she's like, well, why don't we get this guy? He had millions of followers.
Yeah.
And so she finds Bryan, and they build this whole show. Pacifume, who was in the Pod Club.
Yep.
We were going to take that character and make him my personal assistant.
Nice. Yeah.
Same character? Like,
That's awesome.
He was going to bring
That's
a
awesome.
Pog winch. He was going to bring a weird Pog winch with
First
him.
rule of Pod Club.
Please talk about
Please talk. I mean,
We had this
good.
whole thing built up, like it was going to be a whole like addition to. We were going to call it, it was going to be Hello Metro City because it was all built in Metro City.
Yeah.
It was going to be big. We even had a villain.
Okay.
It was going to be like a Paula Deen sort of character to counteract my hipster comic book dude Bryan Kennison persona.
Yeah.
And then in the end, we were going to battle all season because they were only going to keep either her morning show or my night show, and that was going to be the whole first season.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the season, you find out they're not keeping either show, but they're putting both of us on a separate show where we have to host it together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and then we were going to bring in, Sean Keller as a Badger expert on an episode, or we'll bring in Kent in to talk about the destination and it would be awkward for both of us because I'm like, man, no, really, I just want you here for, to talk about the shop.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know what you're really doing.
Right.
So there were gags and stuff planned out, but like it came down to, we really should focus on Magnum Board and making that as big as it can be.
Right.
So Bryan Kennison had a chance.
had a chance. Yeah.
He had a chance.
Well, and you never know.
You were about to be the Better Call Saul of the Magnum Board.
Exactly.
That was my thinking, man.
Exactly.
But-
I was totally there mind-wise.
Yeah, dude. But here's the thing. I'm not going to give any spoiler. Like Will doesn't even know how the season ends yet because he's trying to keep his distance a little bit.
I haven't checked social media in 5 months. I'm trying to stay away. Yeah.
But let's just say things end weird, and I've heard some of the ideas for season 2 and kind of where season 1 ends and kind of where that's going to take. I think it would be fantastic to see Kent Carney and Bryan Kennison team up.
See, that was my thought. Bryan Kennison comes back. He lost his show. He comes to the destination trying to get a job.
Interesting.
Comes in the door, and that's when you get the sad Bryan Kennison song.
Oh, dude.
I like that idea.
Now,
Okay.
I've told everyone, and I'm going to give the spoiler away every chance I get. Kent dies.
Okay.
End of episode
Right.
7. Kent
He's
dies. Kent
Cool.
will die.
Well, I was talking about his Force Ghost.
Right.
His apparition.
Yeah, he has a Force Ghost in
As-
episode 2.
As long as the dirt floats
Season
on his
2.
grave, then it's fine.
Yep.
yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Kent dies.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry, I've been pushing that spoiler.
I've seen you
since
say it
episode 3.
several times on the internet.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Kent will die.
I can't.
Kent
Well, we
dies.
all will die. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think
see.
I even told Kent's mom that at the season or
Kent
the
dies.
episode 5 premiere.
Oh, yeah, you did
Kent
say that.
dies.
Yep. Kent dies.
yeah, that's what this is all building up to.
Is there any other way it could end?
No,
No.
absolutely
No,
not.
that's
Kent
it.
dies.
That's
Kent
it.
has to die.
Ken dies.
Dude, just wait till you hear the music underneath his death scene.
I have no
Dude.
doubt it's going to be heartbreaking.
Yeah,
Epic.
And everything I want.
yeah, my heart's broken.
Epic.
Yeah, it's just broken, and there's
Yeah.
no fixing it at this point.
There shouldn't be.
I mean,
That's the whole point.
yeah, I think you're right.
It's the finale of your heart.
I think you should push your stuff one more time before we wrap up.
Well, there's not a lot of things. There's on June 10th.
Yep. June 10th.
At the Clifton Center, 8 p.m. The Magnum Board season finale.
Totally.
Spoiler alert! I'm not in the episode, but I'll be involved in the event. I'll be
good.
there in some capacity. I got I got a surprise for everybody.
Okay.
Which, if
Ooh,
you
exciting.
if you came
Nice.
to the episode 5,
Yeah, I will say the episode 5 premiere and the episode 6 premiere, the way that the Magnum Board premieres have been becoming more of like an entertainment kind of event.
Yeah.
Like a roast or
Yeah.
I know the episode 6 premiere, Slam and Sid showed up
Yep.
and like
yes,
it's just like you're
That's
not
good.
going just to see an episode. You're going to be entertained completely.
It's a whole production.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
come out, guys. Come on.
Definitely.
If you're in the Louisville area, June 10th.
Yeah.
I don't. You
Clifton
don't even
Center?
You don't even have to pay to go. Just
No.
come to
Recommended donation of like $5.
the Clif- like 8 p.m. Clifton Center.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Clifton Center. It's
Come
free
and
entry.
watch.
Guys,
It's gonna be fun.
Guys,
Yeah.
grow up. Come
grow
to
up a
this.
little bit.
Come on.
It's gonna be
All right.
awesome. Did you guys come to the episode 5 premiere?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
So you
At the
saw the
Bardstown.
roast then. Good.
Yeah.
I just want to make
Yep.
sure.
It was
Yep.
great.
The wrestling entrance was the best thing of the night.
Yeah, it was so much more than I expected. You know? So
that was actually a lot more planned out than Matt called me multiple times just to set up that intro.
Nice.
We could have done this in one phone call, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's like super into it.
Matt, one more Gaither. Actually, I love Matt. I have nothing but respect for him. But that's a whole nother, great. I could do a whole podcast on Matt.
I think we have before.
I think we have. Yeah.
He's such a nice guy. But plugging my stuff. June 10th, Clifton Center. That's the biggest thing I can push to anybody.
Cool.
But after that is Powerbomb the Podcast.
Yep.
My baby. We're 3 episodes in. Episodes 4 and 5 will be out this weekend. I don't know when you guys post this, so
this will probably go up
today.
Today is Thursday, so it'll probably go up mid next week, something like that. So
then the new episodes should probably already be out.
Yep.
Otherwise, I didn't do my job properly.
There you go.
But yeah, Powerbomb.
Well, we
the
have
Podcast.
trouble doing our job properly.
Right? Yeah, we don't ever do it.
But you look really good doing it.
Oh.
No one else
That's
can
the
see
key.
that. What I'm seeing.
That's the key, man.
Yes, you're killing the visual game.
That's the key. That's the key with any podcast is the visual game.
It really is.
Robert's son, Ricky's son, and Robert's son.
Thank you. Yep, Ricky and Robert. Good.
That's one thing I promised on Viva the Powerbomb the Podcast.
Yeah.
I wear a tux every episode.
Nice.
Good.
That's good. That's important.
It's very
I think
important
so.
to keep up appearances.
Absolutely.
For people that can't see you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But definitely check us out. Powerbombthepodcast.com. We'll be on destinationcomics.com soon enough.
Nice.
We're on iTunes. Just search for Powerbomb the Podcast. And Twitter. It's a big thing. Follow us on Twitter at Viva La Powerbomb, because Powerbomb the Podcast won't fit.
Gotcha.
The original name was Viva La Powerbomb, but Brian Barrow ixnayed that.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't like that, did he?
Yeah, he said it sounded too much like a luchador show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm like, I get it. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I like the name.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, Powerbomb the Podcast has that alliteration and
It
that
does,
power
yeah.
behind
It's
it.
got that, yeah.
It
Those
reminds me
nice
of
consonants.
Cannibal the Musical.
Okay.
It was literally
Yeah.
where I got the idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Powerbomb the Podcast.
Yep.
Or Clerks, the animated series.
Right,
It's one
right.
of those sorts of...
Yeah.
Plus, Brandon Jones made a fucking hell of a logo.
It's
yeah.
tough, man.
I was
It's
so
tough.
happy with it.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I'm going to make it like a wrestling pay-per-view. You're amazing.
There you go.
I'm going to kiss you on the mouth, Brandon Jones.
Just wait till you hear the music.
Now, is this going to be like we discussed between an 80s love ballad and between a 90s cartoon?
Yep.
Perfect. That's all.
I suppose this was going to be.
That's all I ask.
That's it.
That's all I want in this world. That's all I want.
We'll communicate about it a little bit more.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Either way, I trust you with my life, so my theme song is just a secondary.
Right.
It's just a secondary.
That's good priorities right there. Let me
Exactly.
tell you. That's
Life,
just good judgment.
and then theme song.
That's just good judgment.
You gotta keep your shit in
Absolutely.
order.
Absolutely. Well, Bryan Kennison, anything else you want to throw out?
That's all I have going on.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, baby, you fine.
Okay.
Girl, you good. That's all. That's all I got going on right now. Those are the two
Sweet.
things. I'm really putting everything I have into the Powerbomb thing right now, and really trying to help push the destination. I think Barrow and I have some projects going on later on, but that's
Nice.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's been fun.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
I'm really happy to be on the Village District.
It's been the longest one we've done in a while, and it didn't feel long at all. So that's how you know it's good.
like an hour and 38.
That's how you know it's good.
Dude, we might be able to make a two-parter out of this one.
That's right. Maybe so.
I almost
Maybe
feel bad for how many two-parters I've been a part of. Like, do I talk too much?
No. It gives us a little bit more content.
It does. A little more stuff
yeah.
going on, you know?
Yeah, we probably just put one up.
We'll just throw one up. Don't worry about it.
Two-parters, too much trouble.
That's too much work.
I'm just sorry for all the wrestling guys. Like, I got into it.
No. That's what I was looking forward to talking about wrestling. I'm glad we did that.
I totally get it, man.
Yeah. Plus,
I wanted to.
Plus, that tracks real nicely right on into your podcast. So they're like,
does.
"Oh, I get a little taste here. Let me go and just
Are you
dive
talking
in."
about Powerbomb the podcast that you can find on iTunes?
Powerbomb the
I
podcast.
was. I was talking about that.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you know what? You need to get Al Snow on your podcast.
I'm working on that. I'm wanting to build up me and Steven as hosts first
Okay.
and get any sort of investment in us, and then start bringing in extras. Because if we bring in
Sure.
extras now, no one's going to give a shit about us.
But there's always the back catalog and
Backlog it.
Oh, yeah.
going back in time. But dude, Al's hilarious.
No, I love Al. He's been in my my Facebook profile picture many times, choking me.
Oh, nice.
I'm thankful for that.
We've crossed each other's paths several times. He probably still has no idea who I am, but he'll look at me and be like, "I fucking met that."
He's
kid.
about to.
No, I was gonna say I think you'd be surprised, but
But Nick Dinsmore, he was Eugene for a while in WWE. I think we have a decent friendship. I like to think so.
You got to get these guys on.
Yeah,
I will, man. But people got to care about the show first.
Yeah, but what if they never care about
He's
the
building
show?
it. He's building
Yeah.
it. He's building it.
Yeah, well,
If you build it,
yeah,
you get some wrestlers.
It's podcast of dreams.
Yep, absolutely.
That's kind of the thing. I feel like they have to enjoy us without them. You ever seen Cool Runnings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we
Of
were talking
course.
about the gold medals? It's like, if you're not enough without it, you'll never be enough with it.
Ooh.
That's how I feel
Yeah.
about the podcast. If we're not enough without these guys, we'll never be enough with them.
There you go.
I like your style.
Yep.
I'm a pragmatic man.
Oh, that's what that is?
No, I don't even know. I think I used pragmatic wrong there.
I like it.
It
I think
sounded
it's
really
good.
good.
I think we leave it on that use of pragmatic right there.
Pragmatic. See you guys.
Thanks for listening. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening, DNN.